My name is Tyler. I'm in my third year of working. I'm in sales at Johnson Enterprises. I only have my mother, but she passed away a few years ago. My father is around, but I haven't seen him at all. Today, I managed to close a big deal while I was working overtime at the office. I got approached by Mr. Anderson, the department head, who sees me as his enemy. Good work today. Are you free now? You must be, right? Let's go out for drinks to celebrate the success of your deal. Without giving me a chance to refuse, I had no choice but to follow Mr. Anderson. The reason he dislikes me is because my performance is better than his. He always targets subordinates who outperform him, leading to various forms of harassment. Ignoring greetings is the norm, and important documents for work are pushed back. This causes some people to barely meet deadlines or not meet them at all. Some have left the company because of this, but somehow Mr. Anderson is never held accountable despite the harassment. For some reason, he invited me out for drinks today. Without understanding why, I reluctantly followed him, and we ended up in front of a bar that felt strangely familiar. Welcome, it must be a bar, the bar's owner greeted us. Sandra, 2 beers, please. Sure thing. I'm not good with alcohol, but before I could mention that, he had already placed the order. I'm not really good with alcohol. Complaining about what your superior has chosen for you. No, it's just that. Come on, it's common sense to toast quietly at first. So, I ended up having to drink. I could probably handle weak alcohol or one drink, but I'm really not good with alcohol and try to avoid it as much as possible. I tried to drink slowly, but he kept offering me more. You're really a dull guy, aren't you? You're supposed to chug it down at times like this. It's no fun otherwise. Hey, that's kind of harassment, you know. Here, this is on the house. Eat this, the bar owner said, serving steamed clams and wine. Mr. Anderson, now wanting to eat, ordered various dishes. Having food made things a bit better, so the bar owner's generosity was really a lifesaver. After a while, Mr. Anderson, feeling good from the alcohol, started complaining about his subordinates at the company. He really gets to me, you know. Looks are nothing special, but the fact that his performance is better than mine just irks me. He's useless because his performance is not as good as mine. After being subjected to about 2 hours of this kind of grumbling, some customers walked into the bar. They were clearly gangsters by their appearance. When our eyes met, I got a fierce glare from them, but it seemed best to avoid any interaction. Anderson also caught their eye, but he quickly looked away, which made me think he might be quite a coward. As I was thinking this, Anderson hit me on the head. Ouch. Hey, you better listen to me when I'm talking. Didn't your dad teach you it's rude not to pay attention to someone speaking? Oh, that's right, you don't have a father. And your mother? Oh right, she's gone too. Single-parent kids really lack basic manners. It's troubling. No matter how good your performance is, with that kind of ignorance, you are bound to mess up and get cut eventually. I was furious. Not just because he insulted me, but he dragged my mother into it too. The boss seemed to notice my anger and piled on more. Really, kids without parents are just useless and clueless, aren't they? Seems like it's common with young people like you. In my generation, divorce wasn't a thing. Everyone takes marriage too lightly these days. That's why they end up divorcing, and you end up with failures like you. With that, he downed his drink in one gulp. He seemed to be quite drunk by now. I tried to respond, but Anderson's rant was unstoppable. Insults about me, my parents, my generation. It was just a barrage of negativity. Gradually, my anger subsided, and I decided to focus on enjoying the tasty snacks instead, half listening to him. As a salesperson, I'm used to dealing with this kind of behavior. Sometimes, when I go out to eat with clients, depending on the person, they can't stop complaining about their company, so I treated Anderson's ranting in a similar way. My head still hurt where he'd hit me, but I managed to empty my mind enough to nod along convincingly to his story. After a while, Anderson seemed to have run out of steam and, satisfied, he started to gulp down his drink again. Then he got up to go to the bathroom. With Anderson gone, I took a moment to relax, eating the snacks. I realized they tasted similar to my mother's cooking. This sautéed barak and the stewed chicken and vegetables were dishes she used to make from the beginning. There was something nostalgically familiar about this bar. The smell, the exterior, the interior, it all seemed very familiar, but I couldn't remember when or why. Even the bar owner's face seemed familiar, but I couldn't place when I might have seen her, and asking felt too embarrassing in case I was wrong. Looking around the bar, my eyes met with 2 men sitting in the back. I nodded slightly and turned back to the menu. Then I heard them call out to me, "Hey kid, you were glaring at us just now, weren't you? Who do you think you're messing with?" I was surprised because I had no such intention. No, I didn't mean anything by it. I'm sorry if it seemed that way. I apologized sincerely, not wanting any trouble. But it didn't seem to calm them down at all. "Don't lie, you were clearly looking at us," one of them insisted. Annoyed by their persistent bothering, I couldn't help but retort, "No, I was just looking around the bar." "Accusing me like that, don't you think you're being a bit too self-conscious?" Then, one of them, his face red with anger, grabbed me by the shirt. "Hey, just because you're a bit handsome, don't get cocky, all right? Hey, you guys, give it a rest in the bar, will you?" The bar owner quickly stepped in to stop them, but the guy didn't care. "Violence, huh? I'll call the cops right now," I retorted with confidence. "Oh, yeah? I'll beat you so bad you won't be able to call them." With that, he punched me hard in the face. Shocked by the impact, I fell to the floor, unable to move. But the two of them didn't stop, continuing to beat me mercilessly. I desperately protected my head. The pain was making my consciousness blur. Then the boss came back. "Aunt Mr. Anderson, help." I called for help in a fading voice. Through my blurry vision, I could see the boss smiling. "Ah, this is just perfect. How do you feel, Tyler? I disliked you from the start. You're good-looking, have better performance, and you even seem to get along with the office's darling. Acting all high and mighty, huh? I've always wanted to mess up that face of yours," Anderson said with a smirk. "All right, we'll leave it at this. Where's the money?" One of the men spoke to the boss. "Ah, here you go," the boss handed an envelope, likely containing money, to the man. "Yeah, just my luck today made me feel a lot better." "Thanks, man." "No, thank you. Let's do this again sometime." It turned out these men were in cahoots with Anderson. I thought it was strange that Anderson had invited me out. In my fading consciousness, I regretted my naivety. "Hey, you guys, this kid Tyler, is he?" "Then you're in more danger than he is." Sandra came over and woke me up. "In danger? What are you talking about? He's just a regular guy," the man spoke. The door to the bar opened. Standing there was the head of the Smith Group, now named Bob. The two men in the bar, apparently gangsters from the Smith Group named Steve and Joe, were puzzled as to why their boss had shown up. "Steve, Joe, I heard you've been up to something behind the scenes. What are you doing?" "Who told you to do this?" Bob asked. The two hesitated. "Well, just a bit of—" "Don't mumble. Taking money from civilians and acting as a criminal intermediary, what do you think you're doing using the gang's name? Disgracing our gang like this won't slide easily." Hearing this from the gang leader, the two shrank back. In the background, Anderson was frozen stiff. "Sarah, I'm sorry for the trouble my guys caused. If anything's broken, let me know, and we'll compensate. And you, I'm really sorry about this. We'll cover your medical expenses. Could you get in touch with me?" With that, Bob handed me his business card. "Bob, don't you realize?" Sarah appealed to Bob. Bob had a look of confusion on his face. "What are you talking about? That kid is Tyler." At the mention of my name, something shifted in Bob's eyes. "Wait, why is he in this situation then?" "This kid and Mr. Anderson just showed up at the bar, and while Mr. Anderson was in the restroom, your two guys started harassing him. I tried to stop them, but it got out of hand. Then Mr. Anderson mentioned his name, and I knew for sure he's that kid's son. I was about to contact you when conveniently you showed up," Senra explained. "I had heard these two were up to no good, so when I heard they were here, I decided to drop by." "Never expected this kind of reunion?" Bob was surprised, and his face looked like he was about to start yelling. I myself couldn't make sense of my connection to this man. In the next moment, Bob punched Steve and then kicked Joe. The two were bewildered by why they were being attacked, but Bob didn't stop assaulting them. In no time, they were beaten so badly they couldn't stand. "Don, why would you—" "Shut it. Bite down and take it." Sandry intervened to calm the still furious Bob. "Hey, take it easy. We're inside a bar. This kid is shocked too." Hearing that, Bob seemed to come back to himself. Sorry about that." "SRA, I'll bring the first aid kit right now." She disappeared to the back. The two beaten men were lying on the floor, about to lose consciousness. Anderson was trying to sneak away from the scene. "Hey, you're involved in this too, right? You, the one who hired them?" Don't think you can just get away. Caught by Bob, Anderson was herded to the back of the bar. Bob helped me to my feet. I'm sorry. No, it's all right. A silence followed between us for a while. Then SRA came with a first aid kit and started treating my injuries. You're Tyler, right? Susan's son. When Henry asked me that, I was surprised. Wait, you knew my mom? Knew her. We were best friends. I was shocked to hear she passed away a few years ago. I really regret not being able to see her one last time, Sandra said, her eyes filling with tears. My mom's funeral had been a small affair, just family. Since it was just me and my mom, I didn't know her friends and could only contact relatives. Wait, so you knew my mom? Does that mean you knew this guy too? I asked, glancing at Bob. I'd like to explain that part, Bob said, and began speaking softly. 28 years ago, I married your mother, but 2 years later you were born. I was often absent, immersed in my work within certain circles. Your mother grew tired of it and left with you 20 years ago, leaving only a divorce notice. Despite attempts to reconnect, she prevented me from seeing you. We maintained in sparse contact until her passing, but she kept you away from me, fearing you'd follow the same path. As Bob spoke, tears streamed down his face, and I couldn't help but cry too. Your mom left me to protect you, your family. The three of you used to come hang out here. It's a long time ago, you might not remember. After she split with Bob, she cut ties with this place and me. It was really lonely, but I'm glad to see her doing well. Sandra too started to cry as she spoke. So, you're my father? I managed through tears, showing a messy smile. Gee, it's been 20 years. You've grown so much. I've really wanted to see you. Bob hugged me, a moment filled with emotion. There was someone else tearing up. That was Mr. Anderson. Realizing this, I snapped back to reality. Dad, I was brought here by Mr. Anderson, my superior. Then those two guys started harassing me, leading to this situation. What do you think we should do about him? After pondering for a moment, Bob asked. Anderson was frozen in fear. Where do you work now? I'm in sales at Johnson Enterprises. The CEO of Johnson Enterprises is a friend of mine. I'll give him a call right now. Hearing this, Anderson panicked, perhaps fearing the worst, and suddenly knelt down. Tyler, I'm sorry. This was all just a spur of the moment. Please don't tell the company. Watching Anderson now groveling, I was disgusted. It's too late for that. What you've done to me is a crime, and the harassment at the company too. And it's not just me, right? Many others have been troubled by your actions. It's time to settle this. As I declared this, Anderson looked utterly defeated. Hello, Mr. Johnson. This is Bob. Do you know Tyler from your company? Oh, you do? Well, he's actually my son. Yeah, it seems he has something to discuss with you. May I put him on? Bob handed me the phone. Hi, Mr. Johnson, it's Tyler. Thanks for taking my call. I need to discuss Mr. Anderson, our manager. I've been facing harassment lately, like excessive workload, being ignored, and even physical violence. Others in the company are dealing with similar issues. I'm hoping for intervention, or I might have to resign. Your consideration would mean a lot. I'll pass you back to my father now. Hello, Mr. Johnson. Sorry, Anderson's causing trouble, but I trust you'll handle it appropriately. Thank you for understanding. Goodbye. Bob ended the call. Anderson was in a daze. It turns out Anderson's father knew Mr. Johnson, which is how Anderson landed the job and climbed up to being a manager despite his poor performance. If I ended up resigning at this age, finding another job would be tough. Anderson, up until now, I've only focused on work and turned a blind eye to your behavior. If it didn't interfere with work, I thought it was fine, but this time you've gone too far. You were laughing while I was getting beaten up. You might say you didn't expect things to turn out this way, but unfortunately, that excuse won't fly anymore. Your selfish actions are causing trouble for everyone. I won't let you do whatever you want anymore. As I said this, Anderson, perhaps in desperation, swung a punch at me. Caught off guard by the sudden movement, I couldn't move. That's when Bob, from behind me, grabbed Anderson's swinging arm and effortlessly threw him over his shoulder. Ow! Slammed onto the floor, Anderson groaned in pain. Sandra, do you have any rope or something? We need to tie this guy up or he'll run away. Sure thing. With that, Sandra brought over some plastic rope, and Bob tied up Anderson. Listen, Tyler, you are truly my son, and I'm the head of this gang. I might not live in the mainstream world, but I have my connections. If you're ever in trouble, just let me know. I want to make up for the 20 years we've been apart. Thanks, Dad, but I want to live my life without relying on you as much as possible. Of course, we can make up for the lost 20 years by going out for meals and such. I didn't want to rely on Bob's power to live my life. I thought that's not what my mother would have wanted, but I had decided to slowly make up for the time with my father. He's my only remaining parent, after all. Tyler, that's very mature of you. Your mom probably wished for that too. She used to say that a lot when she came to the shop, that she wanted you to be independent like Bob. She said that was the only thing about Bob she respected. She must be happy looking down on you from heaven, seeing how much you've grown. I believe she's happy. My mom always told me she wanted me to live a great life, to be a man who can stand on his own 2 feet. That's how she raised me to fulfill her wish. That's why I've been working so hard. Well done, truly. Susan raised you well, didn't she, Bob? Yeah, I caused Susan a lot of trouble, left all the parenting to her. I think I made her go through hard times. But she always said she wanted you to be independent like me. But she also said she didn't want you living in the same world as me. You're turning out so well, thanks to Susan. The two were once again brought to tears, talking about my mom. Enough crying. Go tell my mom directly. Visit her grave later, will you? Hearing this, Bob and Sandra smiled happily. I realized I wanted to be involved with these people for a long time. But what about these guys? I had almost forgotten about the gangsters, Steve and Joe. They were already beaten up but seemed conscious, trying to sneak out of the shop. Hey, where do you think you're going? Let's hear what you have to say. The two sat down formally and looked at each other. Yes, we understand. So I've been hearing rumors about you two lately. Is it true you're taking money from civilians to beat people up? When the two remained silent, Bob pressed in further. Don't just stay quiet. Spit it out. Frightened, the two complied. Yes, it started when a friend asked us. He wanted us to teach someone who bullied him a lesson, and he'd pay us. We were thanked a lot at that time and felt pretty good about ourselves. At first, we only targeted bullies, but gradually we lost sight of the line, and now we don't discriminate, Steve explained slowly. I see, so it started with good intentions. You thought using the Smith gang's name would keep the cops off your back, but what you've done has tarnished our gang's name. A step in the wrong direction, and even using the gang's name won't save you from getting caught. So, how did you get to know this Anderson guy? We met him at a bar nearby. He heard about us from his friend and approached us. Then we listened to his request and took on the job, Joe explained. Bob was silent for a moment. So you had no prior knowledge of Tyler? You acted? Yes, that's right. Is that so? After a moment of thought, Bob spoke to me. Hey, what do you want to do with these guys? As I remained silent, Anderson spoke up. I didn't tell them to go this far. I just asked them to scare you a bit because I was angry. Angry? What are you talking about? You said to beat him up so badly he couldn't come to work. That's right, I heard it too. The gangsters and Anderson began arguing. Shut up. It doesn't matter now. The reason things got to this point is because of Anderson. But ultimately, you two are the ones who laid hands on Tyler. Either way, all three of you are in the wrong. Silenced by Bob's shout, the three of them quieted down instantly. I had decided what to do with the two. Dad, I can't let it go after being hit like that. Can I get back at them? With that, Bob quickly agreed. That's my son, so I decided to give Steve and Joe a taste of their own medicine with Bob's help. Though they were almost in tears, I poured all I had into a single punch and landed it squarely on Steve's face, knocking him out cold. Joe was quickly knocked out by Bob as well. I feel so much better, thanks Dad. No problem, but you've got some good muscles there. You could be my successor. Bob. Bob was quickly admonished by SRA, laughing it off as a joke. They're knocked out, but what should we do with them? No worries, I'll call for a pickup. Bob made a call somewhere. Their ride will be here soon, so don't worry. As for Anderson, the CEO is supposed to come for him. What will happen to them now? Probably after receiving punishment from the gang, they'll either turn themselves in or be expelled. Though what happens could change based on my decision. Tyler, do you want to press charges? If you do, it'll likely lead to them turning themselves in. No, I think I'm good. I got back at them, and I feel cleared up. I'll leave the rest to you, Dad. But I don't know how the others who were harassed by them feel. Well, that's true. I know these guys aren't bad to the core, so I want them to pay for their crimes and never come back to this world again. These two were guys that Bob had taken a liking to early on. They were picked up by Bob when they were disillusioned with the world and lashing out. However, Bob had been too busy recently to look after them properly. Bob also mentioned regretting having brought them into this world. It seems there's a desire for them to start their lives over again. Hearing this, I thought about how passionate a person he was. Then the door to the shop opened. There stood Mr. Johnson Anderson. What on earth is this? The CEO was shocked by the situation. As I explained what happened, he deeply apologized. I apologize for the incident. It was an oversight on my part. We'll be discussing Anderson's resignation. Tyler, please remain with the company. Bob, I'm sorry for any inconvenience. I hope you'll continue to support us, Mr. Johnson. I'd like to ask for your continued support as well, for both my son and myself. Anderson was taken away by the CEO. His back looked smaller, perhaps in despair about what lay ahead. Soon after, Bob's top disciple arrived. Bob, sorry to keep you waiting. These are the guys, huh? Really, what have you two been up to? Wake up. Startled awake by the shout, the two men suddenly snapped to attention. Seeing the person standing there, they trembled in fear. Bob, I'm really sorry. I was asked to take care of these guys, and I'll make sure they're properly disciplined, so don't worry. All right, I'll get in touch with you about what to do next. Got it. Thanks. Come on, you two, get up. Grabbed forcefully by the neck, the two were taken away. It seems things have calmed down for now. I was worried about what might have happened if Bob hadn't shown up. Your timing has always been impeccable. Sandra laughed heartily and slapped Bob's back hard. Ouch. Well, yeah. Hey, Tyler, how about we grab some food after this? What are you talking about? We have to clean up the shop first. With all this mess, we won't be able to open tomorrow. I'll treat you to dinner, so please help clean up before you go. Realizing the shop was in disarray, Sandra eyed us. Sorry, we'll take responsibility and clean up. Dad, let's get to it. So Tyler and Bob set about tidying up the shop that evening. We were treated to Sandra's special curry. Before we knew it, morning had arrived. I had taken the day off, so I planned to go to the hospital later to treat my injuries. I'll get in touch later. See you around. Bob left with a refreshing look, his figure somehow dazzling. Later, I was directly informed by Mr. Johnson that Anderson had resigned. After conducting interviews with the staff, it turned out that a significant number had been harassed by Anderson. Some were even on leave due to depression. Mr. Johnson apologized to me repeatedly. He'd heard good things about my performance and praised me, asking me to continue doing my best for the company. I agreed, and even now, I continue to achieve excellent results at the company. On a day off, I found myself at a particular place with my dad and Sandra. Susan, I'm sorry I couldn't understand your feelings better. If only I had matured sooner, we might have reconciled after that fight. I truly regret it. In a few decades when it's my time, let's be friends again. Over there, saying so, Sandra prayed in front of my mother's grave, shedding tears for a long time. Then it was my dad's turn to pray. Susan, I was wrong back then. My regrets are endless. And thank you for raising our son Tyler into such a fine person. From now on, I'll watch over Tyler. So you have fun in that world. Leave the rest to me. He stood up after saying that. It looks like I'll end up taking care of Dad in his old age. What? I'm still in my prime. As we bantered, a strong wind blew. There was a familiar scent in the air. That was Susan, wasn't it? Definitely. She must be telling us to take care of each other and to stay healthy. Yeah, I think so too. That must have been Mom. Looking up at the sky, we decided to continue. All right, let's go grab some food. What do you want to eat? I want barbecue, the expensive kind. You're not holding back just because I'm paying. Of course, I'm your son, after all. All right, let's go. I'm starving. Sandra, leading the way, called us as we playfully followed her. After that, my dad and I made a point to meet up frequently, filling in the gaps of the 20 years we missed. We shared updates about our lives and consulted each other, building a warm father-son relationship.